Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the latest single from Wolfheart, Big Waves. Big waves coming your way. Get ready to surf. Anyhow, the name of the song really it's Evenfall.
Oh, okay.
Alright?
Evenfall.
Run around like butterflies. So he pushes them away. That's my Eddie Vedder impression, which is horrible, by the way.
No, it's actually spot on. If anything, it's spot on.
I need hair though.
I don't know
he's
what
got
it
the
is
hair and
with bands like that, like not only them, even like with Creed and stuff. What's with that voice?
I don't know, man.
He's such a great vocalist. What do you mean?
Let's not put Pearl Jam and Creed in the same sentence, because that's like like come on.
One's way better than the other, and I'm not talking about Pearl Jam.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. And I'm not a huge Pearl Jam fan by no means. Like I'm not at all. I'm still waiting to see what Jeremy was talking about, because he did spoke. But I don't know what he was speaking of.
I was wondering because there was a band playing the other day at Budweiser, and it was the same thing. Well, it wasn't one of those bands, but it
sounded like one of those.
The vocalist sounded like he was in one of those bands where that's how he was singing. I'm like, how? And then I heard someone say, "Oh my God, his vocals are amazing." I'm like, what do you mean? All I hear is well, like, Jesus.
Let me tell you something. You're not gonna get those kind of vocals in this video.
Definitely not.
That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed.
I definitely want to one day create like a country song and only do like the vocals in that voice and not have lyrics at all for the like.
I think a question we should.
The lyrics are up to the consumer.
So it's like mumble rap, but instead of rap is
but
like.
It's country, or it's like country rock.
Okay, so but let's put a question. Rock. Let's put a question to the audience out there. What metal band is the Nickelback of metal? And put it in the comment section. Let us know who's the Nickelback of metal.
So who do you hate?
Hit us up in the comment section. Anyways, Wolfheart, Evenfall. I wonder if the next song is going to be Jeremy or something like that. What's the version of Jeremy in Finland?
Yadi.
Yeah, the next song, something like that. Anyhow.
Jeremy Jagger.
He was not Finnish.
He wasn't.
Czech.
He was Czech.
Yeah, but that Czech bounced. A lot.
Like a Skoda.
From team to team.
Like a Skoda.
Like a Skoda. All right, so anyhow, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Time for some ice cream.
That's why he's walking away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly like, oh, the fridge is over there. Okay, let me go get some Magnums. All right, so
that's a crazy name for an ice cream.
I know, but they're big and thick, so it kind of checks
the dark
out.
Chocolate ones.
Yeah, especially the dark chocolate ones. Fuck, those are way bigger than the white chocolate ones. I don't make up the rules. This is just the way things come at me. So anyhow, what do you what's your take on this on the latest single?
I like it, man. I like it. I mean, it's Wolfheart. It's.
But okay, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
What were you gonna say?
No, I already heard the album.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've heard the album like a year ago almost. Like I was, I don't want to brag, but like
Sir humble brag.
Yeah, I helped out with some ideas and some feedback. I provided some feedback.
You did what we've been telling bands to do all along.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Reach out to us
when you're putting the record together.
If you think that
if you want some constructive criticism and a truthful opinion.
Exactly, before it's even released, so you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so now in the review I can say anything bad. You know what I mean? Like,
because in a way you're the reason why it sounds.
Well, no, like a lot of my ideas was just that ideas, but I think it's important when you're when you're anybody, either be a band, a scientist, a business person, when you're involved in the bubble of doing whatever it is that you're doing, and the people around you perhaps are not very comfortable speaking their mind because they don't want to upset the apple cart, right? Mm-hmm. Like you start to create this bubble of that is not necessarily a reflection of perhaps of what you should be listening to, which is clear, unfiltered, not criticism, but just opinions on whatever it is that you're doing that are not necessarily related with what you're like. I don't work for the band, so it's not like my opinion matters as much as you want it to matter, but I don't have anything to lose. I don't have any skin in the game. Yeah. So I can say not whatever I want, but I can be truthful with my opinion. That they know that I have nothing to gain from it, and I know that I have nothing to gain from it. So I think it's important for artists, for, like I said, whoever it is, whatever it is that you were doing, it's not necessarily a bad thing to get an outside opinion from somebody who's not involved in the process, who comes in with a clear mind, fresh ideas, is able to listen to it and say, wow, this is good, but why not do that, or why not do this, or and that doesn't mean you're going to take those opinions and you're going to act upon them, but I think it's good for your mind to just see it from a different angle, because when you're recording a song like this, you're listening to this song ad nauseum. After a while, how can you tell the forest from the trees? Everything sounds just the same. Yeah. So I think it's good for that. So what I was going to say is, having listened to the album, this to me is a return to like old school Wolfheart.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like
this doesn't sound like the last three records.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the last three records. You're right. It does sound like returning to the roots of
when we discovered Wolfheart.
Maybe not their actual roots, but when we
for me is the roots is when we got into the band.
Yeah,
I think the first song we ever did from Wolfheart was Flood.
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of that's it has a similar sound.
But even the album that came after, Constellation, that record was like, it still had that same almost that same vibe as its predecessor. But the last couple of records have gone in not in different directions, but they, like for example the clean vocals, having multiple vocalists. There was a few things that were done in the last couple of records that could be seen as a departure from what the roots of the band and the sound were. Yeah. And I feel like this album is a little bit of a return to that.
And that's why I said this is Wolfheart. This is the Wolfheart that we were introduced to and the Wolfheart we fell in love with.
That I didn't like the other Wolfheart.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying this is what, this is a blast from the past in a way. It's a nice feeling to listen to this song, because it's like the older stuff but with a newer look. Yeah.
I agree with you.
And I love it, man. I mean, I love the newer stuff, don't get me wrong, but I also really like the stuff that we got into when we first started listening to the band. And it's nice to listen to a song that, has that same vibe.
I agree 100%. And I'll say a couple more things. I'll say that this album vocally, in my opinion, is the best album vocally from Thomas. In this record, he brought in a different He brought something else to the table vocally on this record. I feel like this is his best album, perhaps the one where it's a little bit looser. It sounds looser to me. His performance feels a little bit more connected, and that has an impact in the lyrics, and it has an impact in the atmosphere of the songs as well. And as far as specifically about this track, that acoustic guitar there, that bridge there, in the not in the beginning, but in the first third of the song.
Yeah.
Wow, that melody was just outstanding.
That was very Wolfheart.
Oh, dude, but it was so good.
These guys have like a sound to them that like it's them.
Don't use the word essence, please.
Why?
I had there's an interview coming up with me and Thomas. I used that word and things got a little bit heated.
Why?
You gotta watch the interview when it comes out. It's like I
doesn't like the word essence.
Me and Thomas have chatted off camera and on camera like thousands of times, and I think this is one of the most uncanny interviews that I've ever done with him. Where I think from a viewership point of view, for the fans of Wolfheart, that's an interview you don't want to miss, because I think you're gonna see a different side of him, but also a side of in terms of how he views his own music. Like, we've talked a lot in the past years about records, songs, but this time I felt like I was able to peel a different layer, and we were able to go a little bit deeper into not just the music, not just how he makes it, but how he views it. And I think that's an important aspect that I don't think we've ever touched before. So you don't want to miss that interview. So don't use that word.
Wow. Okay.
So
I gotta say also, the years of doing YouTube and meeting artists and stuff, I gotta say some artists have like the weirdest pet peeves. And essence, apparent, okay.
No, essence in the context in which I use the word.
Okay.
Not the word, like if you just tell him, well, now, because of that conversation, every time I use that word, he's going to associate it back to that conversation. So it's not the word.
Not liking Volbeat.
Well, but he's not alone. It's like people that don't like Sabaton. You know how many people don't like Sabaton? I know that is shocking the Sabaton fans, but... Listen, there's a lot of people who don't like Sabaton.
No. For me, what was hilarious to find out is it's not just a lot of people, a lot of artists that we've met don't like Sabaton.
Yes.
Asim being the loudest about it.
Yeah, but I talked to him recently. We're getting off topic. I think his mind has changed about it.
Oh, really?
I think he's
seeing the
merits. Let's just leave it like that. And you shouldn't be throwing the guy under the bus.
No, if anything... Well, I always like mentioning him.
Yeah. But his views, I'm not gonna say they change. I think he's just he has a different appreciation. Similar to me, I not with Sabaton, with Nickelback. I watched a documentary, and my view on the band after watching the doc, I still don't like their music, but after watching the documentary, I have a newfound respect for them. I really do. I really think people like to shit on them for whatever reason. But anyhow, we're here not to talk about any of that. We're here to talk about Wolfheart in this song. So,
dude, I don't know what you just said. Like,
yeah, okay. So, but let's get back on track here. So,
I made my stomach turn a little bit. Like, I know it's not, it wasn't the food poisoning. I think it was what you just said.
Oh, why didn't I paint a good photograph? You just remind me.
That's another band with the fucking lead singers.
Okay. Anyhow, imagine Nickelback doing a Wolfheart cover.
Zero gravity.
It would be great for Wolfheart. Imagine the exposure.
It would be great for Wolfheart. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. But, I don't know, man.
It would make a lot of people's ears bleed, but, it would be good for Wolfheart. Hey, Anyhow, anything else you want to add about the song? Because I really like this track. It's one of my favorites.
No, I really enjoy the track. Like I said, it does remind me of the older stuff that we got into the band with. And that's, I think, why I enjoy it a lot, because the newer stuff, they've been moving more into the future and stuff. And I feel like with some of those tracks, they're improving, but I want to see some of the older stuff with a new gloss of paint on it. And that's what I feel like this is. Just more of an older song, like we said before, an older song with a new gloss of paint. Something looks nicer, it's nice and...
with a modern twist.
Yeah. I like it, man. It's also simple. It's not too, showboaty.
No, but that acoustic piece there.
Yeah, that's the
To
only
me,
showboat.
but to me, that sells the song.
That sells the song. But
that sells the song.
I always liked it when they did what was it? Route 2 was one of the songs.
Rauta
Part 2. And they use like a violin in the start of that. Dude, I love it when Wolfheart used like a
or piano
or violin, whatever. I love it because it adds an elegance to this band that this band already kind of has in a heavier way. Like they have a heavy elegance, and then it just adds its own little twist.
It's like Pinky's Up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally Pinky's Up. I agree with you on that. I honestly feel like this is one of their best records in a long time. You guys need to go pre-order that shit because this is a really solid album. And one of the things I mentioned to Thomas when I talked to him is that this is a hard album to pick singles. Because in previous records, you could always like go back to like even Constellation. Like when you go back to that album, it's really easy to pick like your top 5 songs on that record or your top 3 songs on that record. The last one that had the Jesse Leach featured, you know that song is going to be one of the singles. So there's that kind of like, it's really easy to spot where the singles are. This record is really balanced from a quality standpoint. Any song could be a single. So it makes for a very interesting listening experience because there's no fillers. Just no fillers. It's just a really great album. So for the fans of Wolfheart, this is one that you shouldn't miss. Really. Like, and I'm not just pumping anybody's tires. I mean, I'll be the first one to say if I don't like something. But this record, I really enjoyed it. I think they did a phenomenal job with this album. A little bit of a return to their origins.
Yeah, I agree with you fully.
All right. On that, and by the way, what about the video? Did you enjoy that? I like these kind of videos.
I like these kind of videos. And
it's not the first one that they do.
But, yeah, of course. But I like the building that they're in. It just adds to the
like a cottage, like a wooden.
Yeah. I think it adds
it's a studio because they have the producer in the other room with
they're in
their own room. Yeah,
it adds to the vibe.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you needed I'm not sure if you needed the producer on the video.
Of course you do.
This reminds me of that Suge Knight thing at the BET, was it BET Awards? Was the Source Awards? He goes, if you want a record label where the producer's not all over your videos. He's talking about P. Diddy.
Oh, he was hitting on P. Diddy before it was cool.
Before it was cool to hit on P. Diddy, that guy was a visionary. Like fuck, that guy like had the vision.
He did not go to the Diddy parties.
No, he didn't. For sure, he didn't. He was ruthless. So anyhow, I enjoy the video. I think that place really incredible setting, and you see the piano sitting there, the grand piano, phenomenal. I love these kind of like live studio style videos.
Yeah.
I really
ever since those
it.
Winter Sun ones.
Those were the ones that those and Ginger with Pisces.
Yeah, those were the ones that sold.
Those were the ones that sold me, and I don't think enough bands do enough of this. Like, do you know what I mean? And this one was cool because they're all
like. I also liked the one that was Saltatio Mortis did one. I think it was for the Eskimo call, the Electric Callboy thing, or maybe it wasn't. But I remember there was one inside the studio that they did. Like, I like these type of videos, where they do the studio and it looks kind of professional.
You know, it was one of the first bands to do that kind of stuff. When I get to think of, at least that I can think of, maybe there's been others, but the ones that sold me is the ones we just mentioned.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, Nothing Else Matters from Metallica, the video has a lot of studio clips with them playing the acoustic guitars in the studio, them playing pool. There's a lot of clips from that. So if I go back in time, maybe that's one of the first. But that one was more like a music video with clips of them in the studio. These ones that we just mentioned is really the full studio experience. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, a
little bit different. All right, guys, this is it. This is the latest from Wolfheart, Evenfall, and
Evenfall. Even though the song is not even.
Well, we don't know, so we chases them away. It's like he's having a seizure. It's like he's having a stroke. He's having a stroke. Fuck that guy.
He's gargling on some testes.
I know. Anyhow, we'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.